Hey everyone, it's Amador, and due to positive response, I went ahead and did this process video for my Shabby Chic ruffled tree. So you can see I started with a 10.5 inch size cone from Hobby Lobby, and I painted it with the wicker, what was it, vintage white, wicker white of folk art. And I used this pack of LED lights from Hobby Lobby, and it was only $5.99. But I did, of course, use a coupon. And it has 15 lights in it, and they have that soft cream frosted color. So as you see on the lights, I actually wrapped around the tree many different ways to make sure that the lights were offset differently, and then I just hot glued them to the wire part to the tree. Here I took the rosettes and I trimmed off the mesh area around the border, and I used 4 rosettes short of of 2 yards. And as you see here, each row was done separately, where I put a little bit of the hot glue in around the edge of the actual trim, going along with the little flower, to make sure that I had everything covered. And I did row by row to make sure that I had to cut off little areas or cut through rosettes to bring the light through so it wouldn't cover it up. As you can see, the wire is wrapped around quite a bit in different ways. Like I said, it was each done to place lights in different locations, and I did layer by layer. And as I got to the top part, you see my high-tech tape dispenser holding apparatus for my tree so it wouldn't roll around. And at the top, the second to the last layer, I had to use rosette by rosette to kind of make sure I had everything covered correctly. Now at the tip of the tree, I only used one rosette to cover it, and as you see, I cut a little hole right there to slip the light through. Like I said, I used LED lights so they don't get too hot, and you can have this fabric and the mesh and everything around there. So I went ahead and just hot glued that to the tip, and I wrapped it around the corner so it covered it completely. And as you can see, I'm kind of fussing with it, and there was a little piece I had to cut off just to cover everything. Here's the tree completely covered with the rosette trim. Like I said, I used 4 rosettes short of 2 yards. And as you can see, the little battery pack is actually glued on the inside of the tree, and it blinks or it has the solid feature. And I just went ahead and glued it to the inside of the cone. I didn't use, you can use a foam cone, but I went ahead and used this paper mache one, so I'm able to actually glue that little battery pack on the inside. And as you can see, this raised pearl trim I wrapped around, and this was probably like 6 inches short of a full yard. So you don't have to use the whole yard or anything, you can use any of the trims, but this is about 6 inches short of a yard. I like this one, and I wanted to show wrapped all the way around. As you can see, I'm hot gluing it, some of the sections and underneath the pearls, to make sure I get that onto the tree. Now I left the lights on during the entire process, mainly because I wanted to make sure that I didn't cover any of the lights, or I didn't glue over any of the lights. Like I said, they are LED, but you still don't want to cover. You don't want to go through all of that trouble of showing the lights and having the lights and then just covering them up, or accidentally covering them up with one of the pieces, because I put quite a bit of blings and little sequence flowers and several things. Like I said, every single piece from this project, except for the cone and the batteries and the lights, are from One Little Dreamer, and you can use any bling that you have also. She has so many different colors. You can make this in so many colors. Basically, the colors of either what you can dye the rosettes, or the colors that you can get from Artie's One Little Dreamer shop is what you can do. And imagine how many different colors, or you can have a set of them with different colors all together. So as you can see, I'm trying to keep it from rolling around so I can start on making the little ornaments. I took the pearl drop trim and then just used a large flat black pearl. I don't have the pearls labeled to what like millimeters they are, but I used it. I just glued it onto a little circle of cream cardstock, and then glued a short strand which had the 5 pearls around that on the little cardstock. And the bling leaf trim, I went ahead and I cut apart each little piece and made the snowflake ornament. And once again, I just used a punched out little circle. It was the 1/2 inch circle, and I put a little pearl in the center, and then just place the cut up leaf bling around it to make the snowflake, and I also use those to make the stars. Now the rosette trim, I did cut them up in small pieces. You do have to put hot glue on the back of it because they are sewn in there to make sure that they stay. So now you see there's a whole pile of mess on my craft desk, but I went ahead and I was originally going to put those large pearls on the right, but I didn't. I also used this trim from Artie's shop, which will be available soon in limited quantities, and this, by the yard, it has like 30 something little flowers, so you can use those for flower centers or anything. So you are getting massive amount of little blinks flowers, and they're about like half an inch wide, if not more. I really don't know the exact measurement, but you can see they are. I'm just trying to figure out the placement, and I do one by one. Sorry if it's a little blurry. I just was getting carried away and started to go for it and adhere as many of the things that I had on there, and just with the dotted glue, and you can see the circle of cream cardstock in the back. And I went ahead and make sure everything was pushed in. Considering the fact that the rosette trims are so soft and fluffy, you have to make sure you press the ornament in there to make sure it stays on there, so it's not just dangling off the edge of the rosette trim. And like I said, as you can see, just a little dot on each one of them, and since it's back to the cardstock, it holds very well. And the whole thing, like I said, left the lights on because I wanted to make sure that they are well placed, and it has enough coverage with the blings to go with the whole tree. So there are many different things that you can use, many different ways that you can go ahead and set this up. But like I said, use vintage jewelry, use all this bling. I had all of the bling, and it's fun making the small little beautiful ornaments out of all the bling. So you can use it as a trim, you can use it as bling, you can use it as just a decorative anything. But the awesome thing is you can reconstruct and make these beautiful little ornaments. So hope you like it. Let me know what you guys think. I hope this video helped a bit. Here are just a few more pictures to show in a little bit of detail. So you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your input. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Bye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.